Welcome to episode number 309 of the Marine Layer podcast. The Mariners take game one of the American League Championship Series against all odds. We're here at Moss Bay Hall in Kirkland. Fabulous watch party tonight. We will break down everything that went down here and in the game in Toronto.
A reminder to you guys before we start, just make sure you're following everywhere, all across social media, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube Shorts, all that good stuff. You can listen to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, whether it's YouTube, all the audio platforms. Check out our website too, marinelayerpod.com. You can go get your merch, sign up for our Patreon, all that good stuff. And again, follow us across social media at Marine Layer Pod.
Let's get it rolling.
The pitch from Acevedo. A drive feet to right field. Down the line. The Mariners win this game 2-1. The dream lives. They're going to the playoffs. 1-1 from Jansen. There you go. Left field. We got a tie ball game. Julio. Oh, baby, what a moment. Tie ball game in 7-7.
And we welcome you to this episode of the Marine Layer podcast, part of the Just Baseball Podcast Network, recording here on Sunday evening, October 12th. Mariners 3, Blue Jays 1, a 1-0 lead in the ALCS. How about it?
Dude,
How about it?
Holy hell. Let's just start here. Stolen win.
Stolen win.
Win that those boys just took away in game one in Toronto. Yeah. My goodness. I mean, you look at this game and all the odds that were stacked against them going into it. We talked about it plenty. We said, look, the Mariners can absolutely win this series. We said game one, that's an uphill battle. You've got Bryce Miller on 3 days rest. You've got a team that had a delayed flight out of Seattle to Toronto on Saturday. They were up way late into the night on Friday, playing 15 innings, bullpens taxed, not a lot of fresh arms, Blue Jays are rested. We said this is really going to be an uphill battle. They're probably going to have to slug their way to a win if they want to win. Boy, were we wrong. Bryce Miller hang the stones out. My goodness, 6 dominant innings.
That was way more than I think anyone expected from him going into this game. You and I sat here and we talked about this and said, on 3 days rest, given that Bryce didn't pitch great last time around, he struggled multiple times through the order, why don't you let Bryce go 4 good innings if he's got 4 good innings in him, and then you worry about it with the bullpen? Maybe our guy Emerson Hancock gets in. Maybe someone else throws some bulk innings. No, we were instead having the discussion, should Bryce Miller go 7 complete innings? Because let's be real, Bryce Miller had an awful first inning. George Springer takes the first pitch he sees and parks it over the right field fence for a home run. Gives up a couple of other scorched balls in that first inning. This is after, by the way, the Mariners squander a prime scoring opportunity in the first inning, and we're like, here we go again.
I mean, I'll just be transparent with everybody. Between not scoring...
The game was over?
No, I didn't do that. No, I did not do that. That's not what I did. Don't put words in my mouth. But I did say that after they didn't score in the first, and on the first pitch of the bottom of the first, Springer absolutely parks one the other way out of the yard. I did say this has the chance to be a long day.
Okay,
I didn't say it was over.
You did say that, yes.
I said it's got a chance to be a long day because, again, we knew the odds were going to be stacked against them today, and it's no knock on the Mariners. Again, even if they had lost game one, they can absolutely win this series. Absolutely win this series. But when Springer hit the home run in the first, we said, yeah, this is going to be a hard game for them to win. And then everything flipped after that. Bryce Miller went from having like a 30-pitch first inning to being as efficient as all hell the rest of the way. And the offense doing just enough.
And he faced a worse lineup earlier this week in the Tigers. In a start, the Mariners wanted to win in Game 4 to avoid facing Tarek Skubal. And, he didn't look this good. It's not like Bryce was missing a ton of bats today. He missed bats when he needed to. His fastball velocity was up. I slow down my words here. Thought he threw some really good sliders as well. Otherwise, it was a lot of contact. But the thing is, it was really good contact that he was allowing. The hard hit balls in the first inning, here's a good stat for you. So expected batting average, right? Ball off the bat, how often is it going to be a hit, given those parameters of the ball? In the first inning, he gave up 3 batted balls with an expected batting average over 500. The rest of the game, he allowed 2. Rest of the game. And if he went through 7, he probably doesn't allow another one after that. And we're talking 6 innings after the first. Where he's just flat out dominant. In a matchup, if I'm a Blue Jays fan, I am just sitting here kicking, screaming, I'm what we felt in Game 1 against the Tigers. Mariners had every advantage in the world against the Tigers throwing a bullpen game, but hey, sometimes that's just how it happens. Today was one of those games where that's just how that happens for the Mariners, where you have a starter. It doesn't matter if it's your 5-starter. You have a starter go out there and you have him deal against the other team's ace, and the Mariners offense goes out there and scratches across just enough runs. We'll get to the offense in a little bit. I think are you going to do some reading here? Oh, we're going to save the reading.
We can save the reading,
Okay.
but I'm just looking more at Bryce Miller's final line because, again, he threw about 30 pitches in the first inning. He finished 6 innings with under 80 pitches.
Yeah.
Under 80.
Insane efficiency.
I mean, he absolutely dealt from the second inning on to the point where, look, Gabe Speier threw a great 7th inning, and the pocket there for him made sense between facing Varsho and having to turn Santander around to the right side instead of him hitting from the left side. But there was a real argument Bryce could have gone out for the 7th, and it's fine that he didn't. Obviously, the Mariners won the game, and the 3 bullpen arms absolutely dealt, and we can get to them too. But the fact that we went from, is Bryce Miller going to get through 3 innings tonight to, oh, he could go for 7? He was awesome. He was absolutely amazing. And by the way, the only reason Bryce Miller even started this game is because the rest of the Mariners starters couldn't pitch in Game 1. They all threw in Game 5 to get him here, so you had to start Bryce Miller. And he goes out there, and look, we've asked for this all year. Let's stamp it right here, because I don't think it's a hot take in any way, shape, or form. That was 2024 Bryce Miller.
The fastball at the top of the zone, I thought, was the biggest reason why Bryce was doing what he did tonight. The Blue Jays could not get on top of that fastball when he put it on the top rail of the strike zone. George Springer got a middle away fastball and parked it over the fence. Then Bryce started moving his fastball up to the top end of the strike zone, and the Blue Jays kept popping and flying out.
Yeah.
That's it. And then when he would put that sinker down and inside to righties, they would pound it right into the dirt and they would ground out. Here's a fun fact today. It's not even just a Bryce thing today about pitch efficiency. The Mariners pitchers today got a huge break from this Blue Jays lineup. The Blue Jays don't strike out a whole lot as a lineup, but that's almost to their detriment today. The Mariners pitchers threw exactly 100 pitches today.
Yeah,
They almost threw a collective, Maddox is a strikeout, so a Maddox +1 as a pitching staff. So you essentially you not only let a pitcher on, if you're the Blue Jays, you let a pitcher on 3 days rest, get through 6 innings on an incredibly efficient pitch count, and essentially bail out sort of the biggest weakness of pitching on short rest, which is not being able to throw 110 pitches if you need to. But they also made Andres Munoz, Matt Brash, and Gabe Speier completely available tomorrow as well.
Yeah, and if we want to spend a second on those guys, number one, how nice was it to see Gabe Speier throw a nice inning?
Very
because,
nice.
Look, the Mariners need him. They not only need him to pitch, but need him to be prime Gabe Speier. And for as amazing as he's been all year, and everybody knows how great he's been. Yeah, he had a couple shaky outings in the Tigers series that really didn't come at great times. But to see him in Game 1 of the ALCS bounce back and look like the Gabe Speier we all know and love, needed that. That might have been one of the most underrated storylines in this game, is that with a 2-run lead, you went back to Speier, and he looked like completely normal, dominant Gabe Speier, and that is a very good sign going forward. Oh, and then Matt Brash, yeah, I'll just throw 8 pitches. That's fine. Get out of it. Munoz, I'll just shut it down in the 9th.
Also 8 pitches.
Yeah.
Thank you, Blue. I mean, you have to thank the Blue Jays for that because they were being very aggressive early in the count, and they weren't doing anything with it. And now they're deflated, and now they're down 1-0 at home. And think about this. The Mariners now know in this series, Logan Gilbert's going to pitch tomorrow on Monday. Brian Wu is also going to pitch later in this series. And so is George Kirby. The Blue Jays are going to have to beat, of those 3, not even counting Luis Castillo's got a 2.5 ERA at home. The Mariners are going to have to beat those, the Blue Jays are going to have to beat those 3 4 combined times to win the series.
Yeah.
Or at least math. I can't do math. But they're going to have, it's tough for the Blue Jays now.
The point being,
bad podcast math.
well, it's ASU math is what it is.
It is.
Point being, the Mariners are going to get 3 of these games at home. You're going to get Brian Wu throwing at home, where he obviously deals. You're going to get Luis.
We think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they said later in the series. I can't imagine that's later than Game 5. And if it's Game 5, it'll be at home. If it's Game 4, it'll be at home.
Yeah.
So Wu at home. You're going to get Castillo at home, where he dominates. You get Kirby at home, where
So
he's really
Castillo
good.
Game 3 now, we're thinking?
Yeah.
So Logan's going to pitch tomorrow, Game 2. Castillo Game 3. Kirby Game 4. And Wu Game 5. And then you'll flip Logan Game 6. Kirby, or Everyone game 7, I guess.
Yeah, and also it depends on when Woo's ready. I think
Yeah.
if Woo's ready game 4, he'll pitch game 4.
Sure.
But the point is, the Mariners stole game 1 by putting Logan Gilbert out on the mound in game 2. They're going for throats in Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
Originally, I thought they might have to go Castillo, and that's obviously not a perfect matchup because he does really struggle on the road. But by going to Logan on the road in Toronto, who is on normal rest, by the way, because I know he threw the couple innings in the 15-inning thriller, but that was his bullpen day. So he didn't really throw that many more pitches than he normally would on that day. So he's on pretty normal rest, and they've got a chance to seriously step on the Blue Jays' throats tomorrow. Because if you're up 2-0 going back to Seattle, and then again, you get Castillo, Woo, Kirby, I mean, you are in a really good spot. And the Blue Jays would get to the point where they're going to have to throw Shane Bieber in game 3, who has not looked great in the postseason. You're going to throw Max Scherzer and Chris Bassett combined in game 4, who Bassett's been on the IL. Yeah, he's had a solid year, but again, he's coming off an injury. Max Scherzer, who knows what you're going to get out of him? I mean, winning that game 1 does so much for the Mariners. And again, you have a chance to stomp on some throats tomorrow.
Just the pitching advantage. I mean, it's your number 5 against their number 1, and you won. And outpitched them.
Right.
I mean, Kevin Gausman is the Blue Jays' number 1 starter. It's not going to be easy tomorrow against Trey Savage. He's been really good this postseason. His stuff is really dynamic, and the Mariners might swing and miss a little bit tomorrow. Perhaps even more than it was against Kevin Gausman. But he is a rookie. It is the playoffs. This is a better lineup than the one he faced in New York. Things can stack up a little bit. And what do you know? The Mariners hit a couple out of the ballpark, rattle him around a little bit, and then what do you know? He might be a little flustered in that moment.
There's no doubt. Let's talk about the offense a little bit, and then I would say that's just about a podcast.
Yeah.
Honestly, before we talk about the offense, can we just give a shout out to our friends here at Moss Bay Hall?
Lift the glass to them.
Lift the glass to our friends over at Moss Bay Hall. Again, we've done a couple of these watch parties over at Queen Anne Beer Hall. You know, we've done a bunch of live events at Occidental Hall. We've done a couple of events here at Moss Bay Hall in Kirkland. It was awesome tonight. Atmosphere was electric. We had a ton of podcast supporters out. We had a ton of Mariners fans. It was packed in the place. People were going crazy. Such a fun environment.
Yeah. It is one of the better places to go watch a Mariner game in the Seattle area. Honestly, probably our favorite. It's pretty awesome. And if you're around any of the 3 Hall locations, whether you're down by the ballpark on Occidental, whether you're in Queen Anne in the Seattle area, you can go to Queen Anne Beer Hall, the OG, or if you're over here on the east side, come check out Moss Bay Hall in Kirkland. The food's great. You can get as much to drink as you want. You get a liter of this. This is 16 ounces. You can get more than this if you really want. Come here. Come watch the Mariners. The environment was fantastic.
Yeah, and our friends at Savage Brewing were out tonight, too, which was great. Lofa Tutupu is a huge part of Savage Brewing. Will, who's the owner of it, awesome dude. Yeah. They were out in full display tonight. They were getting all fired up. It was really fun.
It was a blast.
There was a lot of people here. By the way, for those of you who know On the Mark, he's big on social media. He's the guy who cuts all the Mariners' hair. Like he's the Mariners haircut guy. He was here. We had some podcast fans here. Shout out our friend Landon, who made us some Marine Layer Pod cards. This was sick. Like he shows up. Cards, card sleeves. There's a space on here to autograph it. And he says, hey, can you guys sign these cards? And we're like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I mean, they look like Topps cards, but they're us.
So now we have our own exclusive card, isn't it? It's pretty cool.
It is really, really cool. So overall, the event was great. Shout out to our friends here at the hall here at Moss Bay. What a blast.
What hitter should we start on? Should we start on Cal?
Love you, Cal. But no, we need to start on Polo. Again, this man... I'll say it again. Could you imagine if he had signed in Houston this offseason? That makes me want to vomit thinking about it because they are not here, anywhere near here, without Jorge Polanco. If you thought the man couldn't get any more clutch than his 15th inning walk-off capper in the ALDS, then hitting 2 homers off Tarek Skubal, then being the most clutch hitter in Major League Baseball this season, look it up on Fangraphs by Clutch Factor. That's a real stat. If all that's not enough, 2 more RBI hits tonight. It's unbelievable.
The go-ahead and then the insurance run. It's not enough for him to just be the most clutch player in baseball during the regular season. He now also needs to take the crown as the most clutch player in the postseason. And it seems like as the lights get bigger and bigger and brighter and brighter and brighter, he keeps stepping up. I'm going to keep bringing up what you keep saying about him. His demeanor is so calm, cool, collected, relaxed, balanced, everything you could want. And it works out that he's a switch hitter too. So whatever the matchup is, he's always going to find himself in a favorable matchup for his sense. He's had clutch hits this year as both, or in this postseason, as both a righty and as a lefty. And you saw that here tonight again. They're bringing in pitchers to switch him around, and it does not matter. And he shows up and he knocks in a clutch hit. And given that the guys in front of him can be a little volatile at times with their swing and miss in Julio and Cal, that's not a problem with Polanco at all. And it comes through in the biggest moments.
I mean, we sat here during the game and said it. Are Julio and Cal the biggest stars on the team? Of course they are. But we know sometimes they have some swing and miss in their game, and they will punch out, and it's just part of who they are. It doesn't mean they're not stars. They are. Yeah. But in that situation, when you needed a clutch hit or you needed a sac fly, I turned to you and said, is there anybody else you want up in this scenario? Yeah. And we're both like, no. Polo, Naylor, both of them are insanely clutch. And what does Polo do? Like you said, go ahead hit, insurance run hit.
I think Jorge Polanco is the ultimate uniter of Mariners fans. I really do think so. What do you think? What do people complain about the most the last 2 years?
Just could not hit with runners in scoring position.
Right. And what's the biggest complaint about that specifically? It's that they swing and miss way too much.
Yeah, so Polo doesn't swing and miss. He doesn't get out over his shoes. He's relaxed, and he just gets clutch hit after
and he still hits for
hit.
power. If you need him to take Tarek Skubal yard twice in a game, he's there. He's got you.
And he hits from both sides.
Yeah.
Hits from both sides.
There is going to be, I think, really, the way it's shown, no more important player this postseason than Jorge Polanco, because he's going to keep batting cleanup. Guys are going to get on in front of him, Randy, Julio, Cal. They might walk Cal, might walk Julio. And it's going to be up to Jorge Polanco to step up and drive those guys in like he did tonight and be the difference between the Mariners winning or perhaps going to extra innings again. And we put out the cold card. They're not allowed to play any more extra inning games again. That is banned from this podcast and from the playoffs this postseason. No more extra inning games, and Jorge Polanco made sure they didn't do it tonight.
Yeah, I cannot take any more extra innings at all. No. And it's funny, I went into this game still so drained from Friday. I mean, I was so drained that I said, look, knowing what the Mariners have to go up against in game one, like, I'm not going to freak out if they lose. I understand what the matchup is today. But then as the game starts to go on and they've got a lead and there's 12 outs to go and then there's 9 outs to go, I'm like, oh my God, they might actually steal
Wake
this.
up, Lyle.
And then
Wake up, Lyle.
Well, believe me, I was plenty awake by the time they're scoring runs, but I'm starting to get nervous again because I'm seeing them get out after out after out. And I'm like, oh my God, they could steal this win. They could seriously steal this win. And they did.
Yeah.
They did.
It honestly didn't even feel like a steal at the end because they flat out just outplayed the Blue Jays. What did they steal? Blue Jays, it's not like the Blue Jays sat there and handed the Mariners runs on silver platters. The Mariners are just better.
Yeah.
I think we saw in this series, Lyle, this first game, the difference in pitching between their opponents.
There's no Tarek Skubal.
No.
Kevin Gausman's really good. Trey Savage, especially for being a rookie,
There's not
really
even,
good.
like, the bullpen arms. Like, again, Troy Milton is going to haunt my dreams all offseason, even though the Mariners won the series. There's no Troy Milton in that Blue Jays bullpen.
Yeah.
Not really.
Again, there are Blue Jays bullpen arms that are good, and we highlighted some of them on Friday's episode / Saturday morning's episode, but there's none that are just overpowering. The guy Jeff Hoffman was supposed to be is that, and he hasn't really been that this year. He didn't pitch in game one, but he hasn't been that guy. Again, Brendan Little's been good, and Braden Fisher's been good, but they don't have, you're right, they don't have a Troy Melton.
Yeah, a Troy Melton or even a Will Vest who's been really good this year, or Brant Herter has been really good this year as well for the Tigers. Like, the Blue Jays don't. Blue Jays are almost like a bottom third bullpen, bottom third pitching staff, period.
They are
the best stuff for them is going on the mound tomorrow. And if the Mariners beat that, who, by the way, they're going to counter with better stuff because they have 5 pitchers deep in the starting rotation. The Blue Jays do not. So if the Mariners get through Trey Savage and are victorious tomorrow, I mean, the Blue Jays, to keep their season alive, are going to be going with aging veterans who are not what they once were.
It's true.
And the Mariners are going to be feeling really good. All could change if the Blue Jays come and start hitting. The Blue Jays offense did not show up tonight. They are going to live and die by them scoring a ton of runs, and they did not score a ton of runs tonight. That could change in this series. Mariners keep the formula like this tonight. You got to be feeling really, really good.
The Blue Jays are the number 1 seed because of their offense.
Yeah.
Their offense didn't show up tonight. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Last thing, and then we can wrap up. We do have to talk about the fact that Cal just owns this entire country.
Are they? So they could Canada legally just kick him out tomorrow?
Do they have to forfeit as a result?
The Mariners forfeit?
No, the Blue Jays. Do they have to forfeit by kicking Cal out of the country?
No, see, this is where it's different between dealing with like a league versus dealing with a government. They're not going to do that tomorrow.
They won't, but
if Cal Raleigh keeps hitting home runs, they might consider leaving him out of not approving his visa for game 6 and 7. I mean, unfortunately, these are the questions we have to answer now. If Cal's going to continue to crush Blue Jays pitching, again, Mariners down 1-0, facing Kevin Gausman, who, by the way, in that breakout season that Cal Raleigh had, breakout season, his 2022 rookie year, which really put him on the map, first home run of the season was against Gausman. Same pitch, splitter, hung up over the middle. And that one, Cal hit the other way. This one, Cal parked in the right field seats.
And Cal's first home run of the 2022 playoffs. Oh, wait, sorry. That was Alek Manoah. But regardless, still Blue Jays.
How's he doing?
Well, he's not in the organization anymore.
I know. Just checking.
Well,
remember, dog, pressure is only a thing you put in tires.
I was about to say,
should have reminded the Blue Jays of that tonight.
I was going to say, is Alek Manoah feeling any pressure these days? Probably not. He's with the Braves, who are not in the playoffs.
That's a fair point. But we're just running out of things to say about Cal. It steps up in the biggest moment. He, in the first postseason where he has been the center star of a team, has delivered at the plate. The swing and miss has not been as much of a problem. He's just delivered. It's what you want.
What time does Aaron Judge and the Yankees play tomorrow?
Yeah, what time do the Yankees play tomorrow? What time is it in Cancun? What time is 2?
Oh yeah, actually
2. What is it? 2:03. What time is 2:03 in Cancun tomorrow?
Give me a sec. This is what's great about iPhones is you can look up times on a world clock.
2:03 in Cancun, Mexico.
Cancun, Mexico. It is currently 11:27. So you know what, boys?
So they are 2 hours ahead right now. So that'll be 4:03 first pitch for the Yankees tomorrow. Watching at the resort in Cancun.
Good. Aaron Judge enjoying the beach. Maybe getting some nice daiquiris.
Relax. He worked so hard this season to get his team as far as possible. Might as well relax.
It must be a really sad time. I know Cancun's lovely, and I know the beach is probably great, but it's got to be hard if you're Aaron Judge, and you have to sit there. You don't get to play in postseason baseball, and you're watching the MVP carry his team. I mean, it must be a really hard time for Yankee fans.
Postseasons are just reserved for gimmicks.
Yeah,
that's it.
Like Aaron Judge.
Yeah. No, I know the continuing to play. Only reserved for gimmicks like Cal Raleigh.
I forgot. Yeah.
It's not real.
Insert that Ryan Day meme right here. I want to know where Tiki Barber is right now. That's what I have to say.
I need Cal to do that in a post-game interview.
That would be,
So he pulls a Corey Seager. Corey Seager, after the 23 season, when he interviewed, is like, man, I love spending money. This is great. Cal's like, where's Tiki Barber right now?
If Cal did that, he's already an absolute legend in the city. That might get him a statue alone if he did that.
I'm down. Fun stuff. Oh, my goodness. If you guys need a place to watch, Moss Bay Hall tomorrow, 2:03 first pitch? That's when it is, roughly. Awesome place to go. We'll be locked in. 1-0 Mariners. 3 wins away from the World Series. I actually forgot to check this. Everyone who's listening to this is going to absolutely scream and yell that I don't know this because we're diehard Mariners fans, and I don't know this. The Mariners won Game 1 of an ALCS before.
They have. You don't have to look it up. In '95, they won Game 1 against Cleveland.
Good. I clearly didn't pay close enough attention to the DVD.
Yeah. So they have won a Game 1.
Oh, they've won 2, actually.
Well, there you go.
Sorry. Third Game 1 win ever in the ALCS for the Mariners. 3 more wins.
Three more from legitimately uncharted territory.
Just, again, I don't want people to get their expectations up too high until they're legitimately about to clinch, because that's how we break hearts and people blame us for things, and we don't want to do that.
No.
We want everyone to be in a good mood.
Yes.
But the Mariners, the rest of the series will be throwing. That's the only Bryce Miller start this series. I'll almost guarantee that. The Mariners will either be throwing Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu, George Kirby, or Luis Castillo at home to go clinch a chance, go clinch an appearance in the World Series, where they will have the pitching advantage in every single game going forward. Every single game. Let that sink in as you go to bed tonight.
Well, you mean against the Blue Jays?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's not counting the World Series.
I thought you
We'll
meant,
get there when we get there.
Yeah. Again, they've only won 1 game. There's still plenty of work to do, but you should be excited right now. There's no reason not to be, and this has been a blast. All right, I think that just about wraps up this edition of the Marine Layer Podcast. You guys know the drill. If you want to listen to the full-form podcast, you can do so wherever you get your audio pods. Make sure, if you're listening, go download, leave a 5-star review. It really helps. A little special call to action here for you guys. We're getting pretty close to the 10,000 mark on YouTube, and the pace we're on feels like we can get there by the end of the year. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a little promo for what we'll do if we get to 10,000 on YouTube. But we're really, really pushing for that. So if you're watching the podcast on YouTube, please go hit subscribe. That's a big goal of ours to get to 10,000 by the end of the year. So go help us out and go click subscribe on YouTube. You can also drop a like, leave a comment. Looks like you got a comment about it too.
And if you want some merch, we're running a 20% off code right now, code Marine Layer. If you want some merch like this hat right here, lots of good stuff.
20% off. 20% off on merch. We love seeing people wear the merch. It's been awesome to see. There was plenty of it here tonight. Go get your merch. That's all over at our website, marinelayerpod.com. And then check us out on social media at Marine Layer Pod. That's TJ. I'm Lyle. As always, we thank you guys for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon.